Okay, so whenever you're dealing with vocals, there's something that I would recommend you do as standard, and that's whether you're using a track stack or group bus, or if you've kept them individually. What I recommend you do is apply a low cut filter or high pass filter, and we're going to do that. Actually, I'm going to apply this to the group bus, the background vocals group bus. So I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to apply this low cut filter, and I'm going to apply a filter of 100 Hertz. So everything below 100 Hertz will be removed. You see, the important detail in the human voice resides above 100 Hertz, and anything below that is pretty much background noise, dirt, that's going to muddy your mix. So as standard, I recommend you filter your vocal tracks. I'm going to do the same on the main vocal as well. We're going to go in here, we're going to apply a low cut filter of 100 Hertz, and that will definitely clean things up a bit to start off with. Of course, I'm going to do more shaping of the vocal later on when it comes to the actual mix, but these are preliminaries that are really important and definitely should be applied as standard when you're preparing for your mix. Okay, so another useful thing that you should be doing is making use of the pan pots, positioning the vocals, for example, to different spaces within the stereo spectrum. Okay, so let's play back a bit of this background vocal section, and we're just gonna do some quick tweaks to these pan pots just to create a wider stereo image of the background vocals. Okay, so after just a few basic adjustments, you can already hear the width of the vocal, and it sounds more live and more present. We're actually going to do a little bit on the guitars as well. So let's solo the guitars and let's see what we've got. Now, once again, you can already hear the width and the spread of the guitars, giving them their individual space and actually creating a more pleasing sound. Okay, we haven't done any other processing besides leveling and panning, and already the mix is sort of starting to take shape. This is all in preparation. This is all getting things ready when you're preparing for your mix down. Okay, so one of the key things that we need to make sure of is to set up our auxiliary effects buses, normally a reverb bus and a delay bus. This is usually done at the very beginning of the process, but I've left it until now because it actually makes more sense doing it at this stage. Anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to do it right here. Let's solo this guitar part right here. Right, so I want to add a touch of reverb to this. So to do so, I'm going to come up here to this aux send. I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to bus 1. Okay, there's nothing currently on bus 1, but I'm going to set up bus 1 now. So this right here is bus 1, and I'm going to call this reverb. And I'm going to add a stereo reverb onto this. I'm going to use a space designer, and I'm going to go from mono to stereo. I'm going to make sure that this is a stereo bus as well. So there we go, and we're good to go now. And I'm not actually going to do anything with the settings here. Just make sure as well, when you've set up your reverb on an auxiliary bus, make sure that the dry is all the way off, okay? Because you're going to have the dry signal on the actual track itself that's being sent some of its signal through to the bus, and you can adjust the amount of reverb there to taste. So let's play back here. Right, so I'm sending quite a lot of the signal across. If I was to bring this up, let's max that out to there. Now, if I pull this back here and go again, there you go, and you just do it to taste. All right, so that's my reverb setup on bus 1. Now, if I was to say go to say this guitar, and I was to go to send bus 1, I'd see the reverb is already set up. So I don't need to set it up again. I just need to apply that. It's already set up to bus 1 and apply the amount of reverb to taste. Okay. What I'm going to do this time, however, I'm going to apply a delay to aux or bus 2. So there's nothing on bus 2 at the moment. So I'm going to go to bus 2 there. In fact, let's solo this one. Okay, and I'm going to insert a delay. So I'm going to use a tape delay, stereo. The bus is a stereo bus as well. And I'm just going to play back the guitar and apply delay accordingly. Okay, so you can mess with the settings as much as you like to get the sort of quality of sound or the delay time that suits you. I was just messing with that just to give you an idea of what's possible. But in any case, the delay is now set up on bus 2. And of course, once you've set up the delay and the delay time that you're satisfied with, you could send anything through to that delay. For example, if I went here, I went here and I went to send, and I went to bus, I could send that through to the delay. In fact, we need to label that delay. Okay, I can send whatever I like through to the delay. Despite the fact that we've set up bus 1 and bus 2 with those main reverb and delay plugins, we can of course still apply delay to individual tracks. So for example, if I was going to this guitar right here, I can of course apply a tape delay to this guitar part. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't stop me from applying a delay to the individual part. The only thing you have to bear in mind is the more plugins you apply to each channel, the more processing power is needed. So if it's not necessary to apply the delay to each and every track, and you could use a global one that you can just bleed some of the signal through to, then that will be a lot more efficient on your processor. Okay, so through the course of this series, we've covered a great deal, and I am really happy that we've finally come to the end. These tips are used by myself and many other pros in preparing to achieve a really good mix. The concepts here are not just for productions where a live band has been recorded. You can use the same techniques and principles when working with MIDI-based productions as well. You've covered a great deal of stuff, and I'm really confident that if you apply these techniques, as well as the ones in the associated videos, as I said, from the playlist right here, I'm sure these tips and tricks will really enhance your workflow and ultimately help you to achieve some great mixes. It's always great hearing from you. So do remember to leave a comment, like, subscribe and share, and I'll be back real soon with more. I'm Dr. Duce. Peace.